What is going on, everybody? Zach RC here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome along to episode 93 of the F1 Ultimate Career Series for the Belgian Grand Prix. If you guys did miss the last episode, make sure to go check that one out before you see this one. And as always, if you're new around here, then make sure to get subscribed for more future F1 content as the series continues on. So, 7 rounds left to go then in the 2025 F1 season, and the Belgian Grand Prix coming our way here today. But first, got a secret meeting to go to, this time with McLaren, just sort of going through the list of top teams who have approached us over the course of the season. I think this will be the last one in terms of top teams. I shouldn't think we get any more with this little time left in the season to go. But obviously, declining talks, as we usually would do. Not a lot of info we can get from this. Or obviously, Norris in P3 there in the Drivers' Championship. But obviously, it's a no. We're quite happy with Ferrari for the time being.
The team are delighted you've been so loyal, declining all these meetings. They wanted me to tell you that they see you as key to the team going forward. Just don't get too comfy, otherwise I'll be out of a job.
So focus then shifts to this weekend's Belgian Grand Prix, of course, our second sprint weekend of the season, the first one in Miami. Of course, that first sprint weekend, we didn't actually manage to finish the Grand Prix. We got 5 laps in before retirement, our only retirement of the season. There's our rivalries leading into the 3, leads the driver rating rivalry, but the 2 important ones, still leading our teammate rivalry and in front of Max by 7 points in the World Championship. It's still gut-wrenchingly close with less than half the season left still to play. Upgrades on the board there, major air upgrade coming in. That'll be after this Grand Prix. It'll be on the car for the Dutch Grand Prix next time out. In terms of R&D, third place, third fastest car as of right now, but the gap's still so close. In terms of power unit, the ICE going to make change to that going into this race weekend. The MGUH might make a change to that after the sprint because Park firmly opens back up after the sprint race. Everything else seems okay for now. And in terms of the championship, then 7 points in front of Max Verstappen. Norris there in P3 has closed the gap a little bit. Of course, he's won the last 2 Grand Prix in Austria and at Silverstone. So Norris could be a dark horse in the championship fight should things close up, and Red Bull lead by a short margin to McLaren in second place, and Ferrari still sitting in third of constructors. But our focus is on the driver's title in these last 7 rounds. We advance time, getting set for the second time we're heading to the Belgian Grand Prix, and it being a sprint weekend, of course, the last time back in season 4 in 2023. But all the prep work is now complete. It's now time to head to circuit de Spa-Francorchamps for sprint qualifying for round number 10 of the season.
High-speed straights, heady elevation changes and dramatic corners. What is there not to love about today? It's qualifying day here at Spa-Francorchamps.
So sprint qualifying then set to get underway here at Spa. Of course, the longest circuit of the season, 19 corners, one of the toughest circuits to win at. And of course, only took victory here last season with McLaren back in 2024 in the rain. In terms of our power unit then, so the ICE and MGUH are still there, need to be handled because I forgot to change the ICE prior to the end of practice. So I have to make that change in qualifying here. Of course, that will knock a fair few minutes off of our time. Only 12 minutes in sprint quality. So when the ICE is all set, only going to have time for just a 1 run. So at the last corner to begin that only run in sprint qualifying up the hill towards the right-hander of La Source. That's turn 1. They need to make this lap a good one here. Down to P20 with no time on the board. Not quite sure what the pole time is as of yet. I have to keep an eye on that later on in our lap. We're going down the hill now towards turn 2. Of course, the iconic Eau Rouge corner. Radion at the peak turn 4. Making our way down towards where the DRS zone will come into play. Up the hill here and on corner exit going down towards the Kemmel Straight. DRS will come into play now as we cross the line and going down towards Lake Cobb, the right-hander at turn 5. Nearing the end of the first sector here. 210 miles an hour. What speed down this back straight going towards the right-hander. So purple sector 1. 31.2, good start to a lap here to make our way through turns 6 and 7. Of course, down towards turn 8 be a good sending point for us in the Grand Prix. Hitting 2 gravel traps there, both through the front left and front right. Got a taste of the gravel there. But through the last few corners here and nearing the bus stop chicane to complete our lap. But only a green second sector, so it could be a good pole time essentially if we can get ourselves a good exit out to the last corner here. So through turn 19, careful to avoid losing the car on corner exit. Up through the gears towards the line to complete our flying lap. It's P4 for us on the starting grid. Do you know what? Given that we only had the 1 run, I'd say that's not too bad. It's a comfortable starting position for the sprint race.
And that's it for sprint qualifying. Plenty more coming up over the rest of the weekend. So we'll see you all tomorrow.
Verstappen on sprint pole, then Piastri second. Gasly takes third place. Fantastic qualifying for the Alpine driver. We qualify 4th, Tsunoda in P5, then it's Hamilton, Bem in P7, Albon P8, Russell knock on, complete your top 10. So that is sprint qualifying, and now it's time to get the sprint race underway.
Welcome to today's sprint. This is shaping up to be another fantastic weekend. Spa-Francorchamps then, a historic 19-corner circuit with a lap distance of 4.35 miles. There's over 100 metres of elevation change here, and with long stretches of the lap spent flat out, a good top speed will be vital for success. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting sprint. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Oscar Piastri completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Gasly, Cohen, Yuki Tsunoda, and Hamilton. Behrman, Albon, Russell, and Esteban Ocon. Norris, Fernando Alonso, Lance Stroll, and Antonelli. Doohan, Sainz, Gabriel Bortoleto, and Liam Lawson. Hulkenberg and Isaac Hadjar rounds off the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head trackside for today's sprint.
Here we go then, no more talking, time for action to get the sprint race underway from P4 on the starting grid here in Belgium. Medium tyres, fuel all set, no more talking, let's do this.
Here we go then, the formation lap is underway ahead of today's sprint.
Medium tyres for everyone then over the course of this 8-lap showdown around Spa. Of course, our main aim is to try and beat Verstappen to the line and to try and get a few more points on him in the championship. Only 7 points in front, remember. It's awfully close. If Verstappen wins this Grand Prix, if we don't finish second, then Verstappen could well return to the lead of the World Drivers' Championship. Norris in P11 down there, so not a fantastic starting spot for him. A poor sprint qualifying when the driver has won 2 of the last 2 races in Austria and in Britain last time out. So needs to try and bounce back and get himself into the points at the very least, trying to avoid losing any more points to myself, Verstappen, in the standings as the last few cars come through turn 19, now set down the last spots on the starting grid. And it should be a very enjoyable showdown indeed. As the last few cars come in to take P19 and P20 for the run towards the first corner. Verstappen on pole, Piastri to his left. Here come the lights though for the sprint race, the second sprint of the season here at Spa. Lights side foot to the floor, go, 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 we're racing in the Ardennes Forest, but oh, big slide there, off the line and being swallowed by a number of cars here, going towards turn number 1, Tsunoda and Hamilton both trying it, going into La Source, Verstappen and Piastri side by side in front of us, Verstappen and Piastri going for the race lead, Piastri gets in front of Max, and for the second time this season, Oscar Piastri outsmarts Max Verstappen on the run down towards the first corner. Gasly in P3, but a fantastic run there through Eau Rouge. Gasly a lot slower, lifted up the hill. We're now right on his tail, going down the Kemmel straight for the first time. Hamilton in P5 behind us. Verstappen is still challenging Piastri, trying the outside here. Gasly might take it 3 wide going into Les Combes. On the inside of the Frenchman now going through turn 5 into the gravel a bit, and a close tap there, close shave with Gasly. We're going through turn 7 now, clearing the Frenchman and into P3, so 1 place gained after all that. Verstappen in P2, but Piastri leads away then early on in this sprint race, going down through the gears towards turns 8 and down the hill towards 9 now. Pouon is nearing turn 10, that very fast left-hander down the hill. The elevation change is crazy on this circuit. Verstappen, though, there in front is going to try and challenge the inside through the grass a bit there, over the curb slightly, but getting the job done and passing Verstappen, our championship rival, to get us to upper place and gaining 1 point on him in the standings. So Piastri is our next target for the race lead here. On to lap 2, out of Eau Rouge, looking for a good run with DRS in play for us this time. Verstappen is second back and can't challenge us for P2 for the minute, but for our focus, it's all on Piastri here, going down towards turn 5, defends the inside, going to try the outside, go the long way around into turn 5 and out braking the Australian and up into the race lead, a familiar sight for us over the course of this season. Piastri on our tail, they're going through turn 6 and 7, but falling away a bit there. Verstappen trying to close up a bit more to P2. Gasly in P4 still, Hamilton in P5. On to midway through lap 2 now, through the grass, and Piastri closing that gap. He's right on our tail now, going towards the bus stop chicane. Going to try the outside if he can. Going to force him the long way round for turn 18. Have the inside for turn 19 though. Piastri gets a better drive off and a bit wide off our line there through turn 19, and Piastri moves back into the lead then. So a short-lived time in first place. Gasly fastest lap, he is quick today. Russell equally fast, there takes it for himself. On to midway through lap 3 now, heading down towards Les Combes once again, practically shoving Piastri, going down towards the right-hander at turn 5. On the inside this time, Piastri outbrakes us in the first part of the corner, but going through the curb and making our way around the outside there through turns 6 and 7 and clearing him, finishing the job and getting back into the race lead. Verstappen, Gasly and Hamilton still on our tail. He's go down towards turn 8 once again. On to lap 4 now. Piastri is falling to P3. Verstappen in second place and challenging us for the race lead, going towards Eau Rouge, side by side with our championship rival up the hill and obviously down the Kemmel straight towards Les Combes once again, the place where we made contact with Verstappen in that ferocious title fight a few years ago. Piastri getting involved again here, 3 wide on the run down towards turn 5. Verstappen falls away. Piastri on our right, outbraking, trying to outbrake both cars. Piastri on our outside, he'll be the inside for turn number 7. You can get close enough. Piastri gets back in front. Double whammy there as Oscar Piastri takes the lead back. Can we try and get it back? Going down towards turning a particularly ascending point of ours in last season's Grand Prix here. Down the inside and making the move stick once again to back into P1. Once again, if Verstappen and Piastri go side by side behind us here. What a battle this is between 3 of the fastest cars on the circuit. On to lap 7 now. A lap and a half to go. Myself and Verstappen pulling away. Piastri now 4 seconds gone, and it's been clear the 2 fastest cars all season and now set to square off. Well, it's only a sprint victory and just a 1 point separating us, but given it's only a 7-point gap in the standings, that 1 point could prove crucial come the end of the season here. So through turns 18 and 19, through the bus stop and coming down the main straight to begin the last lap of this sprint race here. Slide on corner exit. Verstappen may go for it, going towards the source, closing all the time towards that first braking zone. Going to defend the inside if we can. Fourth Verstappen to the outside, going through turn 1, down the inside. Verstappen tries to go for it, can't do it on the outside, so stay behind us, going down the hill towards Eau Rouge once again, and looking for his chance to try and overtake. Good run there for Verstappen, going towards Eau Rouge, pulls to our left here. It could be dead even once again, keeping ourselves in front, narrowly there, shutting the door on Verstappen, but you have DRS going down towards turn 5 here. This could be a pivotal moment in this sprint race. Verstappen closing in, makes his move to the right hand side, going towards Leclerc, going to force him towards the right side of the racetrack, throw the hand up in frustration. Verstappen takes the lead for a split second, but outbraking our Dutch rival into turn 6 and 7 and taking the race lead back. And Verstappen might have nothing left for us now. It's his best passing opportunity, save for this last one, going down towards the bus stop the last time. Verstappen now 7 tenths back. We've managed to hold off our 2 closest rivals in the sprint race, Verstappen and Piastri. Norris down the order, no points for him though, and through turn 19 the last time would be P1 for us, our first sprint win of the season. A fantastic race and 1 point gained on Verstappen to take our championship lead to 8 points. That was fast paced. That was a very enjoyable sprint. Verstappen and Piastri put us under constant pressure throughout the entire thing. We managed to come out on top though. Very, very enjoyable. And still a sprint race or 2 to come at Kota and Interlagos later this season. So plenty more sprint action to come in 2025.
So that wraps up the sprint race, but there's still more action yet to come this weekend. We've got qualifying and, of course, the Grand Prix.
So we win the sprint run then from Verstappen in second, Piastri P3, Gasly held on for P4 then, fantastic points for Alpine, Hamilton in P5, Tsunoda in P6, Albon 7th and George Russell finishes 8th. Norris fights back to 9th, we're not enough for any points, but that's the sprint action all done and dusted. It's now time for us to get the Grand Prix weekend properly underway with qualifying for the main race.
High-speed straights, heady elevation changes and dramatic corners. What is there not to love about today? It's qualifying day here at Spa-Francorchamps.
So, coming off victory in the sprint and looking for a good qualifying run, looking for another pole position this season to catapult ourselves in with the best chance of winning this Belgian Grand Prix this weekend. 25 points on offer as always. In terms of the power unit, making our change onto our MGUH, our third one of the season, and obviously getting off our warm one which held during the sprint. Fortunately, everything else seems all okay for now. In terms of this qualifying run, in the sprint qualifying, I was quite concerned in terms of ERS deployment over the course of the lap. I feel like I used it too much of it in the first part of the lap, and to the point where I got to this last sector, I ran out of it on our first run. So probably why we ended up qualifying only P4, and we've got pace for pole. As we make our way through into the last sector here, Sainz goes fast, it's 1:45.8, and Hamilton then topped that with a 1:44.7. So that's the benchmark for our teammate. But as you can see again, using too much deploy over the course of the lap to the point we've got nothing left in the last sector, and using half our tank compared to using the whole things we meant to do in qualifying. So off the last corner then, need to work on that for our second lap to 1:45.6, 9 tenths off our teammates. So I should imagine a number of cars will come through and top our time before our second run. But this is the point where the rain starts to hit the circuit as we return to the garage here. We accelerate time a little bit, and the rain is starting to arrive. As you can see, it's going to just keep going over the course of qualifying. Right now, P3, Verstappen did go faster, but it's still 7 tenths behind Lewis. So Lewis looking for pole here. So we're going to our second lap here, just to see what the conditions are like, just to assess the situation. And with the rain not showing any sign of stopping here, it looks like this could be a dud lap as you go into turn 1. The rain affecting us to the point where pace is simply not there as you go out of the source and down the hill, already a quarter of a second down on our best effort. So it looks as though this is going to be the cause for this end of qualifying pretty much, as Hamilton is there on pole, Verstappen second, and we qualify in third for the minute. But the rain will keep on falling here as we go down the Kemmel Straight on our second lap. But at this point, it comes to the end of the lap, we're 2.7 seconds off our previous effort. So that more or less do it then. I shouldn't think anyone will come back out for qualifying if the rain doesn't stop, which it won't with 6 minutes to go. So that will do us then for qualifying this Grand Prix, cut short by the wet conditions. So Hamilton will take pole then, Verstappen qualifies second, we qualify third, Sainz in fourth, Williams, the second surprise of the weekend there. Sainz does a good job in the second row, Piastri P5, Tsunoda in P6, Hulkenberg P7 for Kick Sauber. Albon 8th, Lawson 9th, and Russell in P10 with Lando again outside the top 10 P13 here. So all could be a very exciting Belgian Grand Prix with more rain on the way.
Welcome then as we take a step back into the nostalgic golden days of motorsport. Spa is unashamedly a throwback, and all the better for it. Climbs, drops, sharp turns, chicanes, sweeping high-speed corners, all while taking in some of the most beautiful scenery that Europe has to offer. This might sound like a travel brochure, but it's not. It's a race day. Welcome along to Spa-Francorchamps for the Belgian Grand Prix. Spa-Francorchamps today, a circuit that spans 4.35 miles. There are tons of elevation changes along the way too. 19 corners making up this circuit, with 9 of those to the right and the remaining 10 to the left. This track's a great one for fans of pure speed, and the average lap speed comes close to a whopping 145 miles per hour. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Cohen, Sainz, Oscar Piastri and Tsunoda, Hülkenberg, Albon, Lawson and George Russell, Stroll, Ocon, Lando Norris and Behrman, Antonelli, Hadjar, Jack Doohan and Pierre Gasly. Fernando Alonso and Gabriel Bortoleto rounds off the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. Well, it's been a long time since I last worked with you. Good to see you again today. Anthony Davidson. Now, you're the racing driver in this partnership, so tell us about this racing driver. Put us in their shoes. How are they going to be feeling?
Well, you've got to be prepared, Crofty. Before you even step foot inside the car, you've got to know, you've got to have a pre-race game plan. You've watched videos before you get into the car of previous races gone by. You know where you have to place your car if X, Y, or Z happens in front of you or behind you. So having this clear game plan is absolutely essential before you get in the car.
Here we go then, no more talking, time for action for the Belgian Grand Prix. The main race from P3 on the starting grid. Hamilton on pole, Verstappen there in front of us, and trying to take the championship lead. There is your weather for the Grand Prix. So rain coming early on this race. We could potentially see a change to Inters early on, but for now it's medium tyre start. Going to run 2 sets of mediums and hard tyres at the end. Should things stay dry, which I doubt they will. Looking like a 2-stop, but potentially could just be the one with the Inters today.
The formation lap gets underway then, and it's going to be interesting today to see how the dry conditions could affect the lifespan of the tyres.
Well, I shouldn't imagine it will stay dry for too long, but the medium tyres for the top 3, soft tyre starters further down the order, a number of hard tyre starters as well. A good variance for this first stint, but everyone should expect to switch to Inters at some stage early on in the first half of this Grand Prix.
As the cars make their way back to the starting grid to form up and get ready for lights out, let's hope the race ahead today is a thrilling one that will go down as a memorable Grand Prix in the history books.
Of course, we've always had fantastic races here in Belgium. Only taken one victory here, that coming last season, again in wet conditions. So it could be a good sign for us going into this Grand Prix. But of course, the wet conditions set to arrive fairly early on. A change to Inters could be a change to wets later on potentially, should it get hard enough. But the last few cars now leaving the final corner. Bortoleto there at the back, Lance Stroll alongside him as he takes their places on the starting grid. The last 2 slots there, but Verstappen and Hamilton on the front row. We qualify P3, and the lights are coming on then for the Belgian Grand Prix here at Spa. Lights out, foot to the floor. Go, go, go. We're racing in Belgium. Hamilton with a good start there in front of us, but better start from us, though. They're trying to take the lead going into turn 1 if we can. 3 wide with our 2 closest opponents. Hamilton and Verstappen emerge from turn 1 ahead of us. Hamilton in front by a nose there over our championship rival, Sainz and Piastri. Side by side, P4 behind us. In towards Eau Rouge we go for the first time. Hamilton and Verstappen hold each other up there, going through, up the hill, out of Ruddy on here, and almost a poor exit for us, sliding out the corner. Verstappen to our outside there. Hamilton right in front of us. Down the camera straight we go. It could be 3 wide for the race leader. Going down towards turn 5. Verstappen edging in front of Lewis. Going to try and take a move to the inside. Can't do it. Backing out of it. Maintaining our position in P3. Hamilton has the outside. Verstappen is there in front of him. Hamilton now the inside. Going through turn 7. Tapping the back of Verstappen's car. But into P3 then off the start. So keeping our position here. On to lap 2, the clouds already starting to build a bit fairly early on in this Grand Prix. Verstappen is our main focus though, and pulling alongside our championship rival now. DRS in play, going down towards Lecon once again. Verstappen with DRS as well, and off Hamilton going down towards the right hand here. Gets himself in front, going to try and make a move if we can. Going to send it to the inside, going into turn number 5, and Hamilton, our next target in front of us as Verstappen now sits in our mirrors. Sainz P4, Albon P5. What a start from the two Williams cars.
It looks like rain is inbound and we're expecting it in around 5 minutes. 5 minutes until the rain.
So rain coming in 5 minutes then. Hamilton there in front of us, our main focus for now as the track definitely getting a lot cloudy here, a lot more overcast as we leave Eau Rouge for the 3rd time. DRS in play for us once again. Albon and Sainz quite close to us in terms of pace compared to the 3 front runners so far, but Hamilton defends the inside, going to make our move to the outside of our teammate here. First time really fighting Lewis for the race lead, but taking the lead nice and easy there. And once again, like the sprint, finding ourselves back in front early on. Verstappen still there in P3. It's still Sainz in 4th. Piastri now into 5th as he makes the pass on Albon for that 5th place spot. But on to lap 4 now. Hamilton and Verstappen fighting a lot behind us for 2nd place. Means we can take a 3.2 second advantage into the 5th lap. Should we try and keep things nice and cool here through the bus stop as we make our way into turn 18 here. Big slide off of corner exit, mid-corner there. And that's going to cost us a lot of time. We see Hamilton and Verstappen side by side behind us and sliding a bit out of corner exit as well. And now losing about half our advantage onto lap 5 of this thing.
Conditions aren't improving. It's your choice as to whether you want to fit full wets next time you come in.
And the rain is now here. There it is, midway through lap 5 as Verstappen now tries to challenge us going towards the bus stop once again. Our objective is to try and keep ahead of us, but until lap 9, so work still on that front to try and keep him ahead as we go down towards the braking zone, one of the tightest braking zones on the circuit. Verstappen right on our tail like it was in the sprint, going towards turn 18, considers the outside, can't do it, can cover him off, going way too deep there and off our line, off the circuit completely, going through the bus stop and getting ourselves narrowly back in front of Verstappen. A bit aggressive there, probably a bit unnecessary. We're not rejoining overly safely, but holding the lead for now and into the pit lane though. Hamilton stays out, so only one of us pitting for the time being, but intermediate tyres going on early on this thing. Not enough rain for wets just yet, but I have to keep an eye out that should it get worse. Verstappen there in front of us as I believe our pit box here, 2.4 second stop, and coming out in front of Verstappen and ghosting through one of the Williams cars as Carlos Sainz there behind us. But going out the pit lane here in P2 once again, everyone except for Lewis pitting here. So Lewis and Ferrari weirdly not opting for the double stack this time around. Verstappen right behind us, Piastri P4, Hulkenberg in P5, make that Russell P5 now as Hulkenberg gets to his pit box for Sauber. But emerging onto the racetrack, then the rain has come thick and fast here, so the rain has now soaked the circuit completely as we go on to the end lap number 6 now, and Lewis making a stop. Verstappen right on our tail there on corner exit as Lewis comes into the pit lane, will make the pass, take the lead back for the first and on lap number 7 in these wet conditions. Hamilton down out of the top 5, I should think, onto intermediate tyres. Now Verstappen though is our main concern on our tail here out of La Source and down the hill towards Eau Rouge once again. Verstappen, as we know, very good in the rain. It's going to take a lot for us to try and hold him off over the course of the next few laps or so as we head down towards Eau Rouge. Once again, up the hill we go. Verstappen right on our tail, a bit too deep there, going through turn 3 and in the corner exit running deep out of ready on 2. Verstappen with a good chance to make a pass here for the race leaders to go down the Kemmel Straight once again. Max closing in here, no DRS in play, but none necessary for the Dutchman. Makes his move to the right hand side, going towards Lecon once again, and in towards the braking zone we go. Verstappen is still there on our inside through turn 5 into 6. Verstappen takes the lead for a split second in 6. Finishes the job through turn 7, takes the inside line, and Verstappen moves into the race lead. Then can we try and send him back, going towards turn 8, in towards the braking zone we go, braking way too late then, and actually forcing our way inside of Max Verstappen. Not fair on Verstappen, so we'll maintain our spot in P2 for now. Max takes the lead, trying to avoid any sort of warning or penalty of any kind this early on in the race. Piastri in our tail too, as we make our way down towards Pouon once again here. Max pulling away, what an advantage he's got in the wet conditions with that Red Bull running way too deep there through Paul and nearing the gravel trap, going into the gravel trap for a second with our front right tyre sliding back on the circuit. Piastri takes P2 and a big mistake there that costs a lot of points in this championship. Of course, Verstappen only 8 points behind us going into this thing. If he wins this thing and we don't finish second and he takes the championship lead at this point of the season, Piastri on lap 12 now, almost 2 seconds in front of us. Snudder in P4, Sainz in P5. No concern behind us as of right now.
Weather's changing now. We're going to have to change strategy, so it's time to box.
We're looking at wet tyres here with 10 laps to go in this Grand Prix. Verstappen is in front of us, 4.2 to the good, as make our way towards the bus stop chicane once again. This time, getting our entry right for the pit lane. Piastri in front of us, both our 2 leaders looking for wet tyres as well. And things have really gone topsy-turvy in this Grand Prix. The top 5 or 6 or 7 have sort of pulled away a fair bit in this Grand Prix. So, a number of cars far in front. Verstappen obviously a fair bit in front of both myself and Piastri. Wet tyres going on then and being held for a second as Sonoda comes in. Piastri leaves his pit box. We're going to emerge here. It's a 2.4 second stop, but a fair bit longer in our stall than usual as Lewis comes in behind us, not making that mistake of going extra lap. So Verstappen then out to lead by a fair margin. Piastri about the same length in front of us as he was, and still P3 for us. So no places lost, but only time lost to the two cars in front of us as the wet tyres now come into play on the circuit, and pushing further on into lap 13, continuing to chase Piastri down for position, going down through turn 8 once again. Yellow flag going down towards turn 5. Not quite sure who that is at the moment. Looks like one of the Mercedes cars has got problems some kind. We'll see who pulls off going into turns 6 and 7. Not entirely sure. It's a big cluster of cars. Big train going through it. It's one of the Mercs in deep. Which Merc is it? It's George Russell, who's out of the Grand Prix. First retiree, and the VSC comes out for the first time today here on lap number 13. So a brief halt in the action as we try and hunt down Piastri for position number 2. Verstappen has got 8.4 seconds on us. Look at the replay here of what's happened to George Russell as Lando Norris challenging him outside of the points, going down towards turn 5. Russell backs off. The car clearly malfunctioning with some sort of problem. There's the smoke from the back of the car we're so used to seeing at this point in the season, and Russell pulling the car over. So that the Mercedes problem of reliability that hit us a fair while ago back in our stint with the Mercedes is now hitting Russell too. So one Mercedes car out of the Grand Prix, the other one carries on Antonelli outside of the points, I believe, as of right now. But VSC coming into end here on lap 14, and our focus again is on chasing down Piastri. Verstappen is 8.1 in front. Only a safety car that can save us now. A fantastic run through our routes, looking for P2. Back off Piastri here as we head down towards turn number 5. Once again, using bit of batteries to try and pull alongside the Australian, going towards the braking zone, but not getting close enough at the minute. Guys, try and send it if we can. Going into turn 5, light on the brakes there, down the inside, but the outside for turn 6, and Piastri gets back in front and goes over the curb a bit himself, but comes up in front of us once again. So Piastri maintains his spot. Can we try and get him back through turn 8? I don't think so. This will be quite a tight ask. We can try and get him once again, sending the car to the inside into P2 for a second. They're going through down the hill towards turn 8 and clearing Piastri now. It was unlikely, but we managed to get it done. So P2 in our hands once again, and Verstappen now only 1 point behind us in the championship, instead of being 2 in front. Safety car deployed midway through lap 14 now, and it looks as though Kimi Antonelli, the other Mercedes, has got a problem at this stage of the race. The mid portion of the Grand Prix is seeing both silver arrows retire, and this time it's a safety car. What has happened to Antonelli on lap 14 of this Grand Prix? Going through turn 6, the same place that Russell retired. He's there, I think, in the points as of right now. I'm not entirely sure where he was going down towards turn 8, but pulls the car over as Russell did, and not really a good place to retire the car, truthfully, as Bortoletto tries to challenge him down the hill through turn 8. There goes the smoke, and that should give Gabriel all he needs to try and take that place away. Antonelli pulls the car off the exit of turn 8, and that's game over then from the Mercedes today. But safety car then brings everyone together, and we're in P2, so we're now right on Verstappen's tail with 6 laps to go in this Grand Prix, and looking at a good chance to try and steal this win from under Max's nose as we make our way through the last few corners into the last sector and towards the bus stop to get the thing on the way. We're itching to get going here. Verstappen looking for another victory this season, try and get one around Belgium. He's won here before, won a very close fight with us here in 2021 thanks to our mechanical retirement. No such threat today. Verstappen, though, leads the way through turn 19. He gets back to racing here with 6 laps to go here in Belgium, and a chance for us to still try and win this Grand Prix, to try and snatch it from the driver's lead all day long as we go down up towards La Source once again here. Piastri still in P3. Not a fantastic restart, truthfully. Didn't gain too much on Verstappen as we leave turn 1, go down the hill towards Eau Rouge, looking for a good exit. Is sliding a bit out of the corner and going down towards the left-hander once again. Max pulling away a little bit here. Got a lot of battery to try and use though, and Max will likely lift through Eau Rouge. We don't lift it too much by comparison, sliding through Eau Rouge and up through Radion and down the camera straight again, looking for the race lead back for the first time in a fair few laps here, for the first time really since our first stint. Max we're there in front of us, close by. Going to make our move to the inside, going to try and retake the lead here, down the inside into Lecom once again, and taking P1 for a split second, bit off our line there, but moving and clearing Verstappen through turn 6 and 7, so back in the race lead once again then, but our task is now set to try and keep Max at bay for as long as we can in this Grand Prix, and on to lap 18, Max again on our tail. It's again a straight shootout between us and Verstappen, going wide there, sliding through Eau Rouge and through Radion too. Verstappen gets back in front, crucial error there that could cost us massively there. The race victory could be off for us. Max might try and pull away from here as Piastri and Tsunoda go side by side or fighting for P3 behind us, and onto the lap number 18 now, closing in. Verstappen now 3 seconds in front. Our rear tyres are burning up here this late in the Grand Prix. It's been a long time problem with wet tyres, wet weather tyres over the course of the last few seasons or so as we make our way out of turn 19, sliding there out of the bus stop. Piastri takes full advantage, goes siding through, takes P2. Yuki takes P3 for a split second, go down towards the source once again, and make our send the inside Tsunoda to try and take P3 back if we can. Go hit the inside barrier there, going through turn 1, we're getting him back in front of Yuki, but Oscar now starting to pull away, and Verstappen far in front, now 5 seconds clear of us more or less with a few laps to go. But on to the last lap here, Verstappen now 11 seconds in front. He's pulled away massively, took full advantage of our late race mistake. This could have been potentially a race win, if not a second place finish, but Max has been faultless over the course of this Grand Prix. It's a few corners from victory now, looking for another win as he tries to hold his teammate in the closing moments of this Grand Prix through the bus stop section for the final time. And again, this circuit proved to be Max Verstappen's proving ground over the course of the series. He runs to the line and takes victory at the Belgian Grand Prix. Once again here, it will be second place for Oscar Piastri, a fantastic result for the McLaren team. Piastri hasn't been quite there this season, so good to get him on the podium. And the last corner for us now going to narrowly hold off Yuki Tsunoda and Carlos Sainz towards the line for us. It's P3, so another podium finish this season, but it could have been a race victory if not for that mistake through Eau Rouge, pushing it too hard and almost losing the car, almost crashing. So lucky to finish the Grand Prix in P3. Verstappen wins though and takes back the lead of the World Championship by just 2 points with just 6 races left to go.
The checkered flag is out. We're going to be hearing that Dutch national anthem again because it's victory for Max Verstappen.
And what a drive today. Obviously keeps their championship hopes alive. And it's a warning sign, isn't it, for the rest of the competition, Crofty. They're not going down without a fight. I loved what I saw out there today from them. And hopefully they can now get on a roll and continue this progression through the rest of the year.
And once all the hard work is over, and after lap of brilliant racing, it's time now to celebrate with our podium trio. One of the all-time greats celebrates yet again. It's another podium, it's another top step for Max Verstappen.
So Verstappen then takes another victory this season and equals our win tally over the course of this campaign. It's been 4 each for myself and Max, with Norris taking 2. It's going to be a straight fight at the end of the season. 6 races to go and 2 points covering us. But in terms of today, it's Verstappen on top, Piastri second, and we finish in 3rd place, unfortunately. We'll have a look at the final results of this crazy Belgian Grand Prix and where that leaves us with just 6 races to go.
Well, that was certainly an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action very soon.
So 4th place then goes to Yuki Tsunoda. Carlos Sainz finishes in 5th place. 6th place goes to Lando Norris in the end. Ocon 7th, Albon 8th, Gasly 9th, and Lance Stroll completes your top 10. Hamilton in the end fell to P11 from pole. Not a good day for our teammate Bortoletto there in P12 with, of course, the 2 Mercedes cars of Russell and Antonelli both failing to finish. In terms then of the championship, Verstappen is indeed 2 points in front of us going into the last 6 rounds. Norris in P3 still, but 40 points back, and quite a long shot now for this World Championship. It will likely be just us versus Verstappen a la Season 3 into the Constructors. Red Bull lead by 37 to McLaren and 45 to us. They're a lock on at this point for the championship on that front. But guys, that'll do it then for F1 Ultimate Careers. I hope you did enjoy it. Sorry I've been a bit slow with videos lately, but I'll get back on it, try and finish the series off. Make sure to like, share and subscribe for more future F1 content. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.